Well, well, well. The current regime is scared as hell, baby. They don't want you to get out there in the streets on Saturday to protest for democracy and freedom here in the US of A. No. They're so very scared. As a matter of fact, they are so consumed by the fear of our freedom and our democracy, baby, that the only thing that they can project back to you is that same fear. Boo. That's why you've got Republicans like the rolling trick Greg Abbott pulling stunts saying he's going to deploy the National Guard into the streets of Austin tomorrow, baby. And that little idea that they have is starting to spread across America. And that's what we want them to do. Listen to me. Listen to me. I've been calling for this since back in the fucking day when they first threatened to spread the military across the US of A. Do it. Please do it. This is what we want. You see, the way you fight your opponent, dear, is you take what they fling at you and you throw it right back in their face. So please deploy the National Guard to red states. Go ahead. Do it right away. I've been begging for this since the first time the thought of martial law had been thrown down. Because I know, baby, that this Republican pro-Nazi regime doesn't want to unload the military on people who look like me. They want melanation in this nation out in the streets so they can declare martial law, baby. Not us beige. They don't want to declare martial law. They don't want to have to force our military to turn their weapons on their very own families and neighbors and members of their congregation, dear. That's not what they want. And they damn sure don't want members of the military out in the streets seeing millions of us stand up and fight for our democracy. I want to remind you of something right here, dear. When you're going out there tomorrow to those streets, you are fighting for the freedoms of the democracy of those men and women, our brothers, our sisters, our nieces, our nephews, our mothers, our fathers, our uncles, our aunties. You are fighting for the freedoms of those standing there in those fatigues. They go to other countries and fight for our freedoms. It is our job. And the way we support them is by fighting for our freedoms here. They do not want the military to see with their own eyes and hear with their own ears the millions of Americans who are standing on the right side of history. No, they don't. This is the biggest mistake they could ever make. Do not let them scare you today. We have the upper hand in every kind of way. In every kind of way. I've been hoping that they would deploy the National Guard and the military in force across the US of A. So those military service members could see with their own eyes and with their own ears the millions of Americans, their neighbors, their brothers, their sisters, their mothers, their fathers, their grandparents, their nieces, their nephews, their cousins, baby, the members of their school boards, their congregations, the children across this fucking nation standing together in solidarity. They don't want the military to see that, baby. They want you scared of your own military. They want you in your home cowering, scared, baby, because that is the only way that they can control the military. They don't want them to know the truth. They don't want them to see the truth, honey. No, they don't. So make sure you take to the street tomorrow peacefully and show our brothers and sisters in arms which side of history they should be standing on, baby. Let them know that you are fighting for their freedoms and their democracy because they were willing to risk their lives for ours overseas. You let them know expeditiously. This shit is not gonna go their way tomorrow, honey. Not at all. Do not fear a fool, baby, because a fool will make a foolish mistake, and the mistake is being made, honey, and it's time to take that mistake and throw it right back in their face. That is how you fight this game. That's how we're going to play. That's how we're going to win today. Yes, there are members of the military that are okay with this regime, but not all of them, baby. And even if they think they're okay with this regime, do you think they're going to be okay with spilling the blood of their loved ones for that orange man? For the fucking Klan? No. We're already seeing high-ranking military officers retire of their own free will today because they will not bend the knee in any kind of way. We're already seeing leaders of the National Guard coming out to say that if I deploy my troops, it will be to stand with the people against the regime. That is already starting to happen across the US of A. We are gaining ground today, and tomorrow is a big day to gain a bunch of ground in the US of A. So do not fear that fool today. We have the cards, and we are ready to play. Now, if you can't take to the streets, there's other things you can do. You can tune in to the lives, baby. Or maybe you can babysit for someone who wants to take to the streets, but they have children, hun. There are so many things you can do. You can reach out to your community today and say, hey, do you need some signs, honey? Do you need a flag or two? Because make sure you bring your American flags with you. Make sure you show the military what you're fighting for here, dear. Have your flag in tow. Because in America, we don't bend the knee to fascism, honey. In America, we are one. We are united together. And those that choose to divide us will fall underneath the feet of freedom and democracy. Thank you for your attention to this matter.